What's up, guys? I'm not sure what this video is going to be called. Something about me buying an EUC or EUCs being better. I'm not sure, but that's pretty much what we're going to cover in this video. For those that don't know, which I'm sure a lot of EUCers are going to watch this, I'm a pro one-wheeler. Won a bunch of races, podiumed a bunch of races last year, and I just learned how to EUC. That video you can watch, it's my only other EUC video so far. Matt Burt actually taught me how to EUC, and I immediately went and bought an EUC because it was just really fun. But yeah, so I got a Nosfet Aero, which I'm sure even one-wheelers know about this wheel. This thing made a bunch of headlines and was all over my YouTube when it came out, and I don't even EUC at the time. I got this for 900 bucks, which is just crazy steal. Not even just compared to one wheel, just in general, such a good deal. Woo. But especially compared to one wheel. And one wheel, $900 on the used market. I mean, you're getting maybe a GT if you're really lucky, and if you're not lucky, you're getting a Pine X or an old XR with a dying battery. And any of those boards, I mean, they're just nothing compared to the power, the range, the suspension, all those things. I mean, that's the elephant in the room. Everyone always says, ooh, missed that. But yeah, everyone always says, you know, you're wasting money in one wheel. What you get for your money is so much worse. And that's 100% true. You're definitely getting more for your money in EUC. This wheel, I think it's normally $2,000. So you can compare it to a GT or whatever, XRC. And this has more than twice the range of those. And it has suspension. And it has way more torque. Like way more torque. And it has a 35 mile an hour top speed or something, which is basically the highest one wheel top speed. The GTS can go 35 safely, 40 unsafely. But this still has way more torque than even a GTS XL, which is the torquiest one wheel, and even more torque than any VESC one wheel. And then, not only that, in EUC, you're getting so much for your money, but just in general, even if it wasn't better in all those ways, you're getting more capability, which is, I think people like to debate, like, are EUCs actually better? And the truth is they are better, like, capability-wise, they're 100% better. And, I mean, I don't know if that's controversial. I don't think it's very controversial. EUCs are just more capable. They have suspension, they have more clearance. The front and back, I don't have to worry about tail scrape, no scrape. It just doesn't matter. And of course, the pedal clipping is the trade-off for that. Making sure I'm going the right way. Never ridden this trail, by the way, I forgot to say. I'm in Oregon right now, and this was the trail recommended to me by some locals. Ooh. Feet got a little out there. This is my sight lap on this trail. It's supposed to be really sick. So far, it's really fun. Ooh, that was a pretty big drop. But yeah, like I was saying, you don't have to worry about tail scraping, and you don't have to worry about no scraping. So you can just use all that power so much more effectively. It takes a lot more skill to learn, I would say. Like, it was definitely hard to get, like, learning. I think I'm like 50 miles in right now. I think I did 20 miles my first day. I've probably done 50 miles on this. So somewhere between 50 and 100. But yeah, it took a while to get used to just the differences in riding. the EUC. It's way skinnier and harder. The one wheel, you're so much more stable. Like, you can't really stop. Like, on a one wheel, I can stop on this thing. You're like, immediately you're off balance if you try and stop. You can pendulum back and forth. That's what they do, but I can't do that yet. But on a one wheel, you can just stand here. I can't do that. I have to hop off, hop back on, which is the hardest part, is getting on and off at first. It's super hard figuring that out. But I should, I guess, mention all the one wheelers that don't know. If you ever want to walk your EUC, you actually don't have to pick it up. Look at this. I'll just send it down. This little root feature. Like, oh, I don't want to do that feature. You literally just walk the thing. It's so crazy. I thought, like, oh, it's so heavy, it would be so annoying to get an EUC. And then I got one. And I was like, well, wait. Well, actually, when I was using mats, I was like, whoa, this is actually crazy how easy it is. Because there was a couple parts I didn't want to ride the first day. So I just walked the wheel. And it's so much easier than carrying your wheel. On the one wheel, you have to carry the 40-pound board. It's way worse than just walking this thing. Oh, pedal clip. So that's instead of tail and nose on the one wheel, ooh, you have to worry about your pedals, especially on this smaller wheel. Bigger wheels, it's not as big of a deal. But this smaller wheel, you really have to be worried about your pedals. And that's also part of what's like cool, is even though I'm riding, like I was riding the same trails I normally ride at Vail in my learning to EUC video, but it was like I was rewriting them for the first time, because it's just such a different experience. The lines you're taking are completely different because of the way the boards work. The EUC, you just go over things and avoid the side. The one wheel, you don't go over things, you go to the side of them to avoid the hard things. So it's just a completely different way of riding and a completely different experience, and the feel is obviously completely different too. Like, instead of being, I thought that was a thing. Instead of being sideways, you're forwards, which is like a whole completely different like feeling. Like, it's just, even though it's the same type of thing, like it really does feel completely different. And I see why people ride both. Oh shit. Oh, scary. I almost pedal clipped straight into the rocks. But yeah, so the lines are just so different, and the experience is just so different, because your limiters are completely different things. And then also the suspension. The biggest thing is just suspension. I can't wait for one wheels to have suspension. It's just so sick. Like, these little things, you just don't even feel it. Like, I absorb with my legs, like I'm gonna feel a landing, and then you literally feel nothing. And I don't even know if my suspension's set up right. I don't know what I'm doing. But it still feels way better than a one wheel would through that, because I'm not scraping my tail. I have so much power to brake. The suspension's eating everything up. Obviously, I'm going slower than I would be on the one wheel right now. Especially because I don't know the trail. But I mean, my first week on one wheel or whatever, I would not be doing this trail at this speed by any means. And that's what I mean by, like, this is just more capable and just better. It's just, it allows you to be faster. It allows you to do terrain. The one wheel takes a lot more skill to do. And then same with like jumps. Like, you see everybody hitting jumps and drops. Like I hit like a 2-foot drop the first day I was riding the EUC, and it's just, you just stand there, boop, and it's like so easy. The one wheel, your tail hits when you're first learning, like there's so much going on. Oh. It's easier to ride the one wheel, but it's way easier to be good on the EUC, if that makes sense. Pretty sure it does. And I'm pretty sure that's intuitive to most people. It's like the one-wheelers that don't want a EUC, they know the EUC is better, but there's just something about the one wheel. And to be fair, a lot of those people haven't ridden an EUC and still just shit on the EUCs, just like EUCers shit on one wheels. And a lot of the EUCers rode old one wheels, which just, they suck compared to new ones. Like, yeah, EUCs keep getting better, but one wheels have had an exponential growth. Like, our power has gone from XR to now, I don't even know, like 5 or 10x, I don't know, something crazy probably. Our power is so much higher now than it was. And EUCs have had a lot of power for a long time. Now they just have crazy power. But yeah, oh shit. I don't really know what that feels like. I'm just gonna walk it. But yeah, for the EUCers that aren't really caught up with one wheels very much, one wheels can do, if you want a high torque one wheel, you can do about 45. And if you want a higher speed one wheel, you can do about 55. As of the last year, there's controllers coming out now for 40S. Right now we have 32S, so like 130 volts. And we're coming with like 160, so like the same as EUCs. But as of right now, you can go 55 if you really want to. The world record's 59 by a mad lad. So one wheels are super capable top speed now. Obviously it's no P6, but the one wheels are a lot more capable than people think. And they have a ton more torque than people realize. Still not EUC torque, but on a one wheel, you can't use the torque as effectively as you can on the EUC, because the EUC can kind of just stomp up. Holy. On the one wheel, you're limited by your nose and your tail, so you really can't use all of the torque that the EUCs have. And then they have tons of speed, like, oh shit, pedal clip. Oh. But yeah, like on Seek and Shred course, I think me and Nico hit like 40 on that fire road on the way like up part. Jackson was hitting 40 on the downhill of Seek and Shred. Some EUCers are familiar with. They don't do that track anymore, but just for perspective. I should have hit that. Never know what's coming when it's a new trail. But yeah, one wheels are super capable right now. And I also have remote tilt, for those that don't know what that is. Even some one wheelers don't know about this. That allows me to manually tilt the board's angle. So when I'm going up and downhill, or like hitting a jump, or going into like a rock garden, like I can manually manipulate my board. But even then, it's still way more limiting than the EUC, which it literally doesn't matter. You have all the clearance you need other than your pedals. But even with all that, the EUCs are still way more capable. 55, 60 is nothing in EUC land now. The basic wheels are doing that. And then you're paying $3,500, I think, is like minimum for a decent high voltage with a big tire and all that. Probably more like $4 grand, $4,500 if you pay someone to custom build one. And in the EUC world, I mean, that's an F18, a Lynx S, like something that completely washes any one wheel. And that's like, I don't know why people try and debate that. Like, yeah, EUCs are just better, like I said earlier. But there's a reason we all still ride one wheels, and tons of people still ride one wheels, even after trying or having an EUC. Because it's just completely different things. Like, I don't get the like one or the other. I'm scared of that. I don't not want a pedal clip. But yeah, I think they both serve different purposes. They're good at different things. You have different feelings. Oh, and then another honorable mention of just like the feeling on EUC that you wouldn't think, like the range anxiety. I didn't really think I had range anxiety, but knowing that I have double the range that I normally have, even though I normally have a decent bit of range for a one wheel, I can go 15 miles on trails on my one wheel, and it's a high voltage capable board. So, and it's only 35 pounds too. That's another thing I haven't talked about on the one wheel side. Even this small wheel, this is the smallest, best wheel, that's like a trail small EUC, it still weighs 20 pounds more than my race board that I literally have won one wheel races on. So obviously it's plenty of power and all that, and it's only 35 pounds. My ankle brace is limiting my movement that way. I'm bad at right turns. But yeah, the weight on one wheel is better, so that's super nice, just for the feel of it and all that, and just putting it in the car, little things like that, like 100-pound wheels putting in the car, kind of sucks. But yeah, the range anxiety, it's just crazy. Like, even though I didn't think I had range anxiety, because I never really die ever, like, it's just in your head, like, if something happens, I don't have that extra range. Whereas this, I can literally go days without charging. Like at Battle of the Butte, I was riding this thing around because my knee's been hurt, so the suspension was super nice on my knee compared to the one wheel. So for sight lapping and learning the trails, I was riding the EC. I don't think I charged it the whole time, because I can get 40 plus miles on a charge, because I'm not pushing super hard yet because I'm a beginner, and because it just has so much range. So that's just another difference in feeling, like, oh. And I'm not scared of tail scraping. That's a big thing. Like, on the one wheel, you're actively scared of tail scraping the whole time. And this, I'm actively scared of pedal clipping, which is different and similar, but it just changes the experience. I take different lines. So I see the trail completely differently and experience the trail completely differently. I don't know. I think you guys pretty much get the gist. What's the word? I think it's gist. But yeah, I mean, just look at the way we go over those routes. Like, the one wheel, I'd be having to do so much finesse, have the super nice board with the crazy tire to give me just a little bit of suspension. Whereas this, my tire's pumped up high PSI, suspension's pretty stiff, I think. Like, I don't know. I was tempted, but then I saw it looks very soft. And that's another thing, the skinny tire on soft stuff is completely different and scary. I ate shit on sand on a fire road my first day. If you watch that video, or actually it's not in my video, it's gonna be in Matt's video. I wasn't recording yet, but we're on the fire road, hit some sand, and I just went straight to the ground. On one wheel it kind of happens, but not really, because the tire's so wide. So that's like another example of what I'm saying. Like, it's just different things doing different feelings, different, I don't know, that's just different. And yeah, the EUC is better, but it's not the same as a one wheel. And I don't foresee myself ever giving up one wheeling just because EUC is better at jumps and better at chunk. Like, I don't know, the one wheel is just a different feeling. And it's just, it is harder, but that makes it more satisfying. And like, just, I don't know, it keeps you on your toes more. It puts me in that flow state just a little bit more. Even with this, even though I'm learning and like I'm having to hyper focus and not pedal clip, on the one wheel, the hyper focus is just like, you have to be so focused or you're gonna fall on the one wheel. You don't have the suspension and the clearance to save you like you do on this. Oh, that was a good one too. Yeah, it sucks sight running trails. And you're like, oh, there goes a feature. Oh, Holy. I was like, is it a feature or did it just happen to be there? But that's sick. But yeah, Northwest is this weekend. It's Sunday right now. It's next weekend, or basically this week. It starts Wednesday, technically. So I'm trying to stay not injured because I won that race last year on the Onewheel. So it would be cool to win again. And also get the prize money to pay for the trip. So I'm not doing anything crazy right now, especially because I don't know the trail. But I have a feeling in the coming weeks I'm going to be doing some stuff on the EUC pretty quickly, because it's just so capable, so easy to jump, so much torque, so much clearance. I keep saying it, but you really don't understand it till you ride it. Like, yeah, you know that it's like different and stuff. Woo! But yeah, and then like landing those jumps, like it feels so small. Even though on the Onewheel that would feel like a decent jump. Like on this thing, it's just like doo-doo-doo. Like nothing. Because I'm ready to feel that Onewheel just shock of landing, and then this thing just absorbs it. So crazy. Really can't wait for Onewheel suspension. Oh yeah, and then like turning is completely different. Obviously, you're on this tiny tire. I don't think I mentioned that specifically. But yeah, there's just so many things that are different. It just really feels like a completely different experience. Yeah, on the Onewheel, I would have either had to clear that or tail scrape the whole way down those rocks. Would have been super scary. This thing, sight lap, I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's easy. I didn't even clear the jump, I just went down the backside rocks to practice that. And it's just like, so crazy. That's another thing, like stairs on the fucking EUC. Stairs are so nuts. I keep seeing the jumps too late, and I can't see the other side, so I get scared. Yeah, like right there, I just avoided that rock garden because Onewheel instincts. But on this thing, you really don't have to care. You just go right over the rocks. But yeah, and another thing I'm excited for is just being able to ride trails like in a week. If I ride too much on the Onewheel, you know, my knee will start aching and my back will start aching, like just the overuse of certain muscles or certain parts of my body just from being a little messed up. But yeah, like now I can do twice the mileage, and I'm using different like primary muscles and different parts of the body, and I get to ride twice the mileage and not tax those, you know, specific parts of the Onewheel. Like your side, you're pushing with this side the whole time. On this, it's a lot more even, front to back. You're not all twisted. And yeah, it's just, it uses different muscles. Like it uses the same muscles, but it uses different muscles harder. So crazy. It's 55 pounds, but it feels so light under your feet because of the suspension. Like I said, on Onewheel, I'm all about lightweight. So it's funny how super heavy compared to the Onewheel, it's 20 pounds heavier. It really doesn't feel heavier under feet. It's interesting how the EUC is like that. You can only think it's because of the suspension. and then also how maneuverable they are because of the skinny tires. It's another big factor. Like flat turns, the Onewheel just, you feel so slow and it sucks on flat, like hard turns. Whereas this thing, you can really, you know, lean into it like a bike or something. Like I pull it up more than I'm expecting to. It's just so easy to pull up. Whew. Another thing that's funny with the EUC compared to the Onewheel is you can literally just bunny hop with the suspension. I don't know if you can see that. But you literally just use the suspension to hop up. So if you want to hop up things, like you can literally just pop up them with the footholds plus the suspension. It's really funny compared to the Onewheel. Alright, that was Catamount Trail in Silver Falls, Oregon. If you're ever in Salem, this trail system, super sick. This Newt Loop even, this one I just came out on, super fun. Me and Bree rode this before I just did this video. But yeah, it was a super fun trail system. And Silver Falls itself, I've been here before. If you've never been to Silver Falls, such a sick hike. There's like 12 waterfalls or something, all in one hike. It's really sick. Well, yeah, and there's not much to ride around here. This is definitely the best spot in Salem. I mean, even just in general, they told me this is a really good spot in Oregon. So, yeah, if you're ever in Salem, definitely come here. And yeah, I mean, is EUC better than Onewheel? Yes, but I still love my Onewheel.